What's going on, guys? NealGuides here. In this video, talking to you about the tactics and instructions that I used against the pro player MaestroSquad when I beat him 5-3. So this is the team that I used. So yeah, I did beat him 5-3. I was actually unbeaten that weekend league. I didn't have enough time to play all the games. I played 16 games in total, and I was unbeaten. I won every single game. I got 15 wins in the end. And the 16th game, as we know, I didn't get the win because someone left. Well, MaestroSquad left when well, allegedly it was EA server, so I disconnected when I was 5-3 ahead and celebrating in 110th minute. But you know, whatever people want to believe, they can believe it. It's a pretty bang average team. I was just trying some players out, like Griezmann. I bought him just for the weekend league. If you remove Griezmann, Sterling, and Pogba, you know, you're talking the rest of the players are like, you know, maximum 30k. You know, they're very cheap players. You know, anyone can buy these kind of players. A 30k team, you know, and these, for example, the striker, right wing, centre mid, you can supplement other players. I didn't really want to use Pogba, but because I got him in a player picks, how could you not use Pogba? I'm not really a big fan of his high-low work rates, to be honest, and he's not fast enough to be a cam for my playstyle. But because of his, obviously he's in form and his price tag, you know, you can't really not use him. But that's the team in the end that I did use. I did use the 4-3-3 third variation, which is the 2 CDMs, just to get the full, the maximum chemistry. And in terms of players, 2 players are not on full chem. It's Sterling. He's on 8 chem because of the manager, so he's a Premier League, and he's got loyalty, so he gets 8 chem. And Tellez just gets 7 chem. I normally play Kyle Walker in left back on 7 chem, sometimes even on 4 chem, depending on what formation I'm playing. And as in my opinion, long as the base stats are decent enough, you don't really need above 4 chemistry that much, unless you're trying to improve a specific stat. But in my opinion, pace is the most important thing in every FIFA game, no matter what. Maybe not as important this year, but it's still very important. So just going into the actual formation I used, I'll kind of go over the why I chose the players after I go through the formation. So this is what I used in game. I used defensive style, pressure and heavy touch. I'm just going to insert the gameplay now when I was playing MaestroSquad. Because a lot of these good players with god tier teams, every single player is deadly. So I normally use the cam account to defend. And the cam kind of becomes the player I just select. I have autoplay switching off. So I just use him to close down, cut out the passing lanes. To, you know, stop the balls getting to his main players. That's the reason why I went pressure and heavy touch, because I manually control the cam, and when there is a clear chance to win the ball, then AI will kind of push forward. Width, because 4-5-1 is quite I wouldn't say it's quite narrow, but it's quite a balanced formation. So I left this on balance. You know, I didn't want it too high, too low. For me, the most important thing is a narrow width. I don't care about the wings. The wings are not really much of a problem. I'd rather take a chance with a cross coming in than someone, you know, getting a clear chance on a first time finesse. So that's why I don't have a high width. Depth, in that game where I played, the reason why it's on 4, I like to play 5, maybe even 6. I don't really like 4-5-1. It's a bit too defensive for me, for my liking. But I just thought I'll try something new out this week. But I have 4 depth. The reason why is because I'm actually trying out long ball offensive style. And my logic is, if I have lower depth, if the opposition is attacking me, I'll be sitting a bit more further in my half. So when I do get the ball back and I do get a chance to counter, with a long ball offensive style, I can easily pass the ball in behind. So I'm basically creating more space in behind for my cams and my striker when I'm on a counter attack. So that's one of the reasons why it's on 4. Offensive style is long ball. I'll just try it out this week. I've never used it before. I don't see that much of a difference. Especially with 4-5-1. What the key thing people don't understand is you need to learn to use player trigger runs. So that's left back or L1 on PS4. I didn't see that much difference between balance and long ball, but I used this whole formation the entire game for the whole weekend league. This is the only thing that I used. I was just trying to try out, you know, how it is defensively when I'm winning or I'm losing. Offensive width, so 4-5-1 is quite packed out in the middle. So the width I put it on 4. I kind of want my players close together. Good for the 1-2s, good for the passing, especially to create space. As you probably saw in some of the clips, I was playing a lot of time counter attack as well because of long ball offensive style. I kind of wanted my players together and close by for the passes. Players in the box. Now normally I have this on 3 or 2 even sometimes even 1, because obviously first time finesses is kind of the main thing you want to score. But now it's becoming more and more predictable. Everyone's kind of moving their goalkeepers, whether you're on silver 3, gold 1, elite 1, everyone's moving keepers nowadays. So I kind of put a bit more higher up, so now I kind of go down the wings a bit more. So that's why I have a bit more players in the box and kind of do like a low driven across the goal, score a goal. Corners and free kicks on default. I don't really worry about those too much because I normally pass all my corners. I don't take a risk with a header. It's just too much of a low chance of you getting it, especially I play with quite short players. So I normally pass them anyway. I just have a bit, as you probably saw in the video where I beat MaestroSquad, I had a lot of corners, I passed a lot of them, and I created a lot of goals by packing out the midfield and also having good players in the box. Instructions now, this is what's key. I play a 4-2-2 or 4-4-2 second variation. So the cams are normally on come back on defensive when I play the 4-4-2 or the 4-2-2. When I'm attacking, 4-2-2 ends up being a 4-2-4 essentially. So that's really good. But this formation, the reason why I wanted to try it out is because the cam, if I put the cam on stay forward, it would kind of be like a 4-2-2, but instead of the 2 strikers quite wide out, it will be like 1 centre forward and 1 striker. So I wanted to try that out, and that's the reason why I have it set up this way. So Griezmann getting behind, stay forward. I'll just try out Griezmann. He's not that fast, but he's good for, getting in behind, just kind of creating distraction runs essentially. So I have him on stay forward. I also have my cam on stay forward. The reason why is because these players both have high work rate. So they defend high and they attack high. And so I want them to stay forward to be in the striker positions at all time. So I have them on stay forward. My cams, as I said, on my 4-2-2 variation, I normally put them on stay back while attacking. But because I think this formation is a bit too defensive, and with this formation, the cams, you want to exploit the players like Sterling and Promise. So when you do get a goal kick with Valencia, pass to Valencia, do a 1-2 with Sterling, you kind of want your cams to run forward. That's what's really key to win with this formation. So I leave them unbalanced. I don't really touch them. Promise is high-low, so he's a bit more forward. Sterling is high-medium, so it's not that they're not defending that much. Now the CDMs, Kadogbe is high-medium and Pogba is high-low. I prefer having a medium-high, as in medium attacking, high defensive, just one of the players, like a Kante, just to sit in front of the CDMs, in front of the centre-backs. But they're a bit too attacking for my liking. So, because Pogba's high-low as well, so I put them both on stay back while attacking, because I kind of want them to sit back. They don't really act as CDMs; they kind of act as centre mids. But I'm going to insert the clip now. As you probably know, I defend with my cams, especially stop the first time finesses. So they kind of just sit in between the centre back and the cams, and I had them on cut passing lanes. This is what's key this year. I used to have them on man mark in the previous years. But it's no point doing that anymore. Cut passing lanes probably the best. You want to kind of restrict the ball going to your opposition, especially for the first time finesses. So I deliberately defend and position my players to cut passing lanes, and obviously stay center. I don't really care about defending out wide. If the opposition gets the ball out wide, I don't really care. I can normally defend against that. It's not really much of a threat. Now for the centre backs and the full backs, all on stay back. The run types aren't overlap. The reason why is I want to create more space in the middle. So I kind of want these players kind of wide, making runs, overlapping the players. So if I do a 1-2 with Sterling, I kind of want him to go around Sterling, not to be inverted. That's pretty much the formation I've used. I used the formation the entire weekend league. I didn't change anything. And in regards to my subs, Ad Vardy, I put him on because he's high. He's actually a fantastic. If you have 2k coins, I think he costs now, buy him. If you're on a really if you're on a really poor budget as a sub, he's amazing because he can play anywhere. He can play on a wing, he can play in centre mid, he can actually play in striker, he can actually physically play anywhere. The reason why, because he's got a high work rates, he tracks back, he's quite fast, and he's got good shooting stats. That's what's important for finesses. When the game came out, I actually used him so much on my main account because his long shots, even though they're poor, first time finesses don't really take long shots into account that much. He's got good stamina, very good aggression and good jumping, so he's quite good for a cam. Good reactions and composure as well. These two players, you know, they're both untradeable. I got this one in the Team of the Week upgrade, never used them. I don't even think I played him. I'm about sure I did 2 games. Rabi, I normally have him. I actually wanted to buy the centre mid variation this week, but for some reason he was they were so expensive, the shadow version this week. So it's like 7k. I didn't have 7k, I only had 6k, so I ended up buying Kondogbia. Paulinho is the guy I normally play instead of Pogba. So where Ben Yedder is right now, Paulinho will sit there, and I'll just play him on 7 chem. That's not too much of a problem for me. He's got good stats all around anyway. Mertens, I bought him for 62k. I think he's like, I'm sure he's like 28k or something now. He's pretty cheap. Yeah, he's like 28k, so he's a good player. He's high-low. That's why I bought him on in that match, because he's got a high-low work rates. He's a bit more attacking. That's why I took Ben Yedder off, because Ben Yedder's got a high work rates. And Torreira, you know, he's like a poor man's Kante, medium-high. If I really want to lock the game out, I kind of bring this guy on. You know, he's got some good defensive stats. Now into the main team, you know, I just trying out some players like Kondogbia. I think I tried them out for this. You know, I'm not even used to these players at all. I just kind of bought them, you know, just for this week. Like I said, if you take away Griezmann, Sterling and Pogba, it's literally, I would say, a 30k team at max. You know, these players are very cheap. You know, I think Ben Yedder's like 1k. Only reason why I paid 6k for him because it's a centre mid hunter variation. But that's my team. Normally I have informed Ben Yedder here, and I play him as striker, but because I wanted to try out Griezmann this week, I had to sell informed Ben Yedder just to buy Griezmann. But that's the team really. The key players are Promise. I would say he's a very good player. He's got high-low work rates, 4-star weak foot, 5-star skills. So he's a very good player. Goalkeeper, like I said, normally I have Buffon here, but just to buy Griezmann this week, I had to sell Buffon, so I had him in goal. In this FIFA, a tall goalkeeper is extremely important. That's why players like Mandando, 6'1", he's not good. He lets in every finesse. So him, Lopez, they're all such bad players. So I bought him because he's 6'5". He's still not amazing. Even with glove, his positioning is pretty poor. But normally I'd have Buffon here. But that's the team, guys. I went unbeaten in the end with this team. Thanks for watching. Players like Pogba, obviously, how can you not use Pogba when you get him in a player pick? I want my players on Shadow, just because I value pace over everything. The way I think about it is, it doesn't matter what even if your defensive stats is 99 defending, if you have bad pace and you can't get to the opponent before he gets the ball, you're screwed. So my kind of view is, the more pace you have, it doesn't matter if you have 99 defending or 1 defending, as long as you get the ball before the opposition does, you're basically winning that duel. Thanks for watching, guys. I know people have been asking me about the walkthrough, about how I beat my squad, what did I do in game, why was I doing those deep tactics. I'm trying to think about how I'm going to do those. Once I figure out a way of how to do this video, I might split them up because it's quite in-depth. And once I do that, I'll release them, and hopefully it will help you guys get, you know, into the elite bracket. I know some people have been saying that my texts have been helping them. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video.